Hello, and welcome back to TeaBookClub, 5-minute readings. TeaBookClub is a group of international people around the world. We have an interest in tea and we enjoy reading tea books together. We read a tea book or writing every 2 months so that we have time to fully absorb it, and then we meet at the end of each month for a meetup online. At the end of the first month we have our social. So in our current read for June and July, our social is this coming Sunday, and we pick a theme from the book, or perhaps we have the author along, and we enjoy talking and sharing our thoughts. At the end of the second month, we meet for the discussion meetup, where we discuss the book that we've read, what we got from it, things we found, likes, dislikes, all of that kind of thing. You can find out more about this, if it's interesting, at Join TeaBookClub on Instagram or teabookclub.org. Every week I do a 5-minute reading, a little excerpt from the book, just for people to read along, if you're waiting for yours to arrive, or to catch up or dip in, or just get a feel for the book. Our current read for June and July is the third edition of Read 80 of 80 Degrees magazine, Read 80 on Instagram, and I'm really enjoying this. The articles are a good length, you can get into them and get enough from them, but you don't kind of get bogged down. The photography is beautiful and the presentation is just fantastic. So I'm going to read for 5 minutes just from one of the articles that I've really been enjoying as I've been dipping through this, and it's the article about tea houses titled The Cradle of the Tea House, written and photographed by Gwen Chesnays. The article starts on page 77, but I'm going to read from page 79 just because I want to capture some of that atmosphere that this article really invokes of the tea houses of China. So, page 79. The larger tea houses, found in central and commercial areas, were multi-storied and stylistically more refined. Their designations relate to their architecture. Example, Cha Lao, a tea house with more than one story, or to their outdoor space, Cha Yuan, tea garden. Attracting the higher echelons, they provided entertainment such as Sichuan opera and various folk arts, thus becoming the first local theatres. Upper floors were reserved for the wealthier patrons, where the prices matched their pockets. There would be a courtyard for tea drinkers and a stage for performances. The Joy Tea Garden in the city centre is one of the only few remaining large tea houses with traditional entertainment. Sichuan opera is still regularly staged, and neighbouring elders continue to gather here, playing mahjong while watching the opera. Open-air tea houses are often found along a riverbank, in a park or near a pond. They remain popular with the locals as it's a symbol of their slow-paced lifestyle and a manifestation of the practice of drinking tea in harmony with nature, reflected in their usually poetic names: the Great Quietness, the Cry of the Crane, the Bamboo Pavilion, the Emerald Chicken, the Orchid Garden. While the environment is important, the tea service is crucial and the water quality critical for delivering the best experience to the tea drinker. Running water was not available before 1953. Every day at dawn, water carriers would walk barefoot to the middle of the river where the water was purest, quoted by the sage of tea Lu Yu in the classic of tea, Cha Jing, then bring it in 2 wooden buckets hanging from a shoulder pole to the tea houses, restaurants and households. The water would be filtered through layers of stone, coal, sand, mangrove fibre and alum in earthenware vats and transferred via copper kettles to the nearby coal-fired tiger stove, which would heat a dozen kettles simultaneously. To attract customers, tea houses would promote the water used with the sign, "River Water Fragrant Tea." Many tea houses kept the vats until the 1970s as they were considered to produce the best water quality for brewing tea. Tiger stoves were slowly replaced in the 1980s by boilers, to the disappointment of tea house waiters, who never found them accurate enough for the required water temperature. Copper kettles were said to leave no deposit, thus preserving water purity. They were used until the 1950s when, like many other daily use metal containers, they were requisitioned by the country to develop the steel industry, particularly during the Great Leap Forward, 1958 to 1962. Most of Chengdu's tea houses use short spout copper kettles. The traditional Sichuan long spout kettles with spouts reaching 30 to 40 centimetres, were seldom seen in the larger tea houses, where there was more space to move between the tables. Waiters needed to learn the special skill of standing away from the table and filling the cups without spilling anything. This method is still alive today, particularly in restaurants where it is performed as a Sichuan folk art. Tea is steeped in a gaiwan covered tea bowl, a tea set comprising the saucer, the cup and the lid. It serves both as the steeping utensil and the drinking vessel. The saucer stops your fingers from getting burnt, and the lid is for keeping the tea hot and preventing the leaves from being swallowed along with the tea. The positioning of each part of the gaiwan on the table is significant. With the lid left on the table underside up, it is for the waiter to top up. Saucer placed on the chair means the drinker will be returning to his seat. While water quality and service are both important, the range on offer also plays a major role in attracting and retaining customers. Sichuan produces its own teas, mainly green and jasmine teas. There are numerous production areas throughout the province, yet in Chengdu the most popular teas come from the western region, with its abundant summer rain and heat. Though jasmine tea is considered inferior in the traditional tea culture, Sichuan people still enjoy its sweet and delicate fragrance. Tea houses usually offer 5 to 6 kinds of tea, including jasmine tea such as Bitan Piaoshu and Bashu Tiangjiang, and green teas such as Mending Ganlu, Eimai Maofeng, and Zhu Jing. Sorry, my pronunciation is terrible. Tea can be steeped, that's 5 minutes. Tea can be steeped up to 10 times, and tea house goers can stay all hours slowly enjoying their tea for only a few yuan. The rest of the article goes on to talk more about what happens in the tea houses and the kind of people that go there. And combined with the photographs, it's just really atmospheric and has inspired our theme for our social meetup on Sunday. So, taking the theme of the tea house article, what I've asked is that, what we're going to do is we're going to explore tea houses. And I'm going to invite people to come into my chashitsu, so it's Japanese tea house, but tea room, but it doesn't matter, where I practice and study tea ceremony. And I've asked everybody to create a little mini tea house environment for the duration of the social meetup. And we're going to share our stories of our favourite tea houses around the world, and I want to see what kind of list we can come up with as we're scattered around the world, what kind of list we can come up with our favourite tea houses that just kind of epitomise the feeling of a tea house for us. So if you enjoyed that, head over to the links below, sign up, get involved, and look forward to seeing you on Sunday for our social meetup. Thank you.